It's the National Football League on EA Sports.
And we'll see this team's sure-handed wide receiver, who's closing in on 1,000 yards receiving on the year. Hold on tight. We're in for an exciting one.
And it's coming up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the visitors from Sacramento, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
Just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. And off we go on EA Sports. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a look here at the veteran under center, their 7th-year quarterback.
I love today's NFL because it is high-flying, big-time action, some risk involved. But how about him eliminating all that last week? 3 touchdown passes, incredible yardage.
Yeah, almost 400.
Big-time game.
And that's going to be incomplete. When you look at this defense, they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throw out wide is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down. They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. They'll go again with Bush. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They run up the middle with Bush. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Brought in over the middle by Graham. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. 2nd down in the yard. Bush trying the middle. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll hand it off to Bush. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Holding offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM that always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. They run the counter. It's Glover, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Tough spot here, 3rd down and 11. Operating from the gun. Staley flushed out right. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Glover. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
This drive didn't end well, but if they can keep stringing these together, they'll like what they're doing. That was an 8-play drive before it ended in a fumble. So the takeaway's got to be doing what we want to do and doing it well. Just got to take care of the ball at the end.
The home team's offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. And he continues to be a nightmare for teams to defend in the red zone. You see the graphic. He's 2nd in the NFL in terms of rushing touchdowns by a quarterback. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Staley firing quickly here, and that's complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and 3rd and 1 now. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Off play action. Staley. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Glover. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on, you heave one deep when you catch them close to the spot.
Sacramento with the football here as we get set to begin quarter 2. Here we go now on 1st and goal, as they've got it as we resume action. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might well go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. Back to throw. Staley. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
Well, I can spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage, but when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
Can this defense hold him out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. They'll try and run the option, and nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. They're turned away on 4th and goal, and the ball will go over on the goal line stand. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. That's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Burrell. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. To throw from his end zone. Burrell looking for Murphy, and he finds him complete. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he can't escape, and down he goes. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Operating from the gun. Staley toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And on now is the punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Burrell, complete to Kelly. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. This is Bush. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, Burrell. He finds his man, complete. That's Bush. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
They go play action here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw again. And this one is incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. And he comes back with one complete. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career, that draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they called Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run it with Bush. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. Second and 13. He finds his man, complete. It's Grant. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defense.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down. And his kick is good. And it's 3-0 here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. And now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here's Sacramento's offense once more.
This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Gets it off to Freeman. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
Back to throw. Staley. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And they'll send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Wide open receiver, complete. And all the way in for the touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Staley eluding the... And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again 3rd and long now. Looking to throw. Staley. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Throwing to start the drive. Burrell. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. Burrell.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. They bring their punter out there now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. 10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports.
He takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, called it the 26. This offense ready to go to begin this 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
On the counter, it's Bush. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. This will wind up a loss on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
So they bring out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 2. In motion, the tight end. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On 3rd down, it's Glover. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Now, this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back. Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Staley. And his throw is incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
That is caught. Hard running at the 15. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster, and we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
When you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out ahead, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow. This guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Collins. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun. Staley, his pass caught at the 4. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And instead of having a one-score game, they'll remain 2 scores down. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
They'll start on the ground with Bush. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
In motion goes the tight end. 2nd and 5. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
On the run, it's Bush. And he takes this across the 15 to the 17. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll keep it in the hands of Bush. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 6.
It's now 3rd down and 6.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Bush. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches.
At the 32-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Burrell. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that's going to make it 4th down. Back to throw again.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
They'll try the right side with Bush.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 57 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Burrell. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's caught by Kelly. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A great play there. 28 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point splits the uprights. And that makes our score 17-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Sacramento.
Back to throw now on first down. That's complete. It's Collins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And the Sacramento first down.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. They run the counter. Glover. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
They'll run on first down. It's Glover, and he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
They'll keep it on the ground. Glover, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on 3rd down, Staley. And that will be incomplete. This one winding toward a conclusion. And how would you assess how the secondary is played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitching a shutout. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well. to give them an opportunity.
The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Second and a couple. Looking to throw. Burrell. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
Holding. Offense.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
2nd and 11. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He finds Douglas complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
From the 46, here's a 2nd down and 4.
Back to throw here. He finds his man complete. It's Collins. With that one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
This 2nd and 4.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. They'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball.
And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A great effort there. His 1st touchdown on the year. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
Complete to Kelly. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Off play action. Burrell. Throws right side, and that's complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
23 yards on the play.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. Burrell. He finds his man. Complete. That's Bush. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
2 yards to go, second down.
At the 31-yard line.
A give. This is Bush. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards the pickup. First down.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bush. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Now Bush running left. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And it's caught. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here's Sacramento's offense once more. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Out of the gun now on third down.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on fourth down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Collins.
2nd and 6 coming up.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
A big play here. Crowd on their feet. 3rd and 4.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
They'll look to throw again.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
They'll set up a throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Bush on 3rd down. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The situation for them offensively as follows. Down by 2 touchdowns, 46 seconds to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
If this offense can't get it done, they'll think back to just a few plays and say to themselves, this was a winnable game and we let it get away. Still a chance to save it, but time's definitely running out.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, it's pretty difficult to sum it up offense in a 2-minute drill when your guys have struggled to put points on the board all afternoon. There's an incompletion right there.
Now back to throw. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for the home team here,
they finish off the regular season at 12 up and 5 down.
And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Sacramento,
this loss will mean they finish the season on the wrong side of 500 at 8-9.
And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.